Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this time I'm going to be creating an image viewer with TKinter. We're going to be using Ttkbootstrap to design it. So it's just somewhere like this, so you could open up a directory as a folder, any location. Now I'll just go to pictures and I'll go to pins or pins here. So you could just select this folder and it will open all the image in this folder for you. And you could view it using this button. Now you can see all the image, you can see the total image you have here, and you could next go back, next go back and keep viewing this image. So it works basically like this, and it's just going to be very handsome. Just come along and let's build this. And one more thing here, if you are opening a folder that has no image, so you have to just select this folder. Now you can see this message here, no image in this directory. Choose another directory to view images. Okay, so now let's work with this and build this. So now, starting the image viewer project, the first thing we are going to be doing now is importing our modules. We are going to import ttkbootstrap, then we are going to import the constants, all the constants from ttkbootstrap.constants. We are going to import this file dialog box. First, we're going to choose our folder, our directory. We are going to import this TKinter message box. We are going to be using it to send the message when there is no image. Then we are going to be importing this pillow library to manipulate our images. Then this OS and this part will be for our directory. So we import all this now, and next thing now we want to start setting up our windows. So now we set up our windows here and we set the title to image viewer, and now we want to have the style as superhero. That's the theme of our project. So now we want to have the size of the window to be window.geometry. Then we want to have it as 800 by 600. So that's the geometry of our application now. So now we want to have our first frame, we call it main frame now. That's the frame, a direct child of the root, that's the window. Then now we want to have our variables. These are the first variables we're going to be having here. The file location, we're going to set it to this. Image no, we're going to have it as this, 0 by default. Then the image list is going to be empty by default. So now we want to have the explorer frame. This is where you're going to have the entry, where it's going to display the location of the directory, and we are going to have, yeah, this is the entry, this is the frame now holding that, and this is the entry here. So you can see it here is in a grid format, and it's in a grid format so that we can be able to add the button to it, like next to it. So now we have it as row set to 0, column set to 0. Then we have a padding on the x-axis of 10 and padding on the y-axis of 10 and 0. You might not understand this, but this is simply telling us that, okay, if we have, let's look at this thing now. We have y-axis now, we have both up and down here. So this is actually telling us that up here we want the padding to be 10 and down here we want it to be 0. So that's how we are doing the image explorer frame, just like that. So now we want to see our explorer entry now. So we have it as a child of the explorer frame. Now we have the width to set to 80. So now we have row and column here too, both set to 0. And now the column span is set to 2. That means we want it to take both column 0 and 1 to take 2 column. That's why it is column span. There's also row span. So that's to take like 2 row span. Okay, now we have the padding on the y-axis. Now you can see we are using the same logic we used here for the padding on the y-axis. We are using it for the padding on the x-axis here. And now you are setting the x-axis here, just like here now we want it to be 80, the padding, and here now we want it to be 0. So that's how it is here. So if you continue now, we are now having our image frame here. So this is our image frame here initially, but it's going to be empty by image. There's not going to be image on display when we open the application. So now this is on row 1, which should be telling us that all these are on the same grid, right? No, they are not, but this is on row 1. This is on row 1 now, a child of the main frame. So it is actually these and these that are on the same grid. So image frame and explorer frame, they're on the same grid, and this is on row 0 and this is now row 1, but now on the same column. So now we are going to have our button frame too. That's for our next and previous button on the main frame. Now I want it to be on row 2. So you can see this now and these are on the same grid. So we are going to have it this way. So the next thing we are going to do here now is our label, and this is the label that will display in our image now. So okay, this is now the best set to this image frame now. Oh no, this is not the label that is displaying our image. Sorry about that. So I think this is the label now that is displaying the numbers of our image. That's like the numbers of image we have, as we have seen in the project right from the beginning, where we can say 1 out of 48. That's 1 over 48 images. So this is it. Now we can see that we have a font set to top in our area, then 20 bold, and we have this ticking. That means we want it to stick to northwest. And now we have this padding too, which is actually the same format as this and this, which I'm sure you understand by now. So now, yeah, now we now have our image label now. So now we can see that now this is both on mail frame and if you image frame. And if you check this now, you should be able to denote that these are the same grid now. So this is our image frame now. And we have it like this, and we have the width set to this, and the text is actually empty because we want to display image here and not text. So this is set on row 1, and why this was row 0. So now I have the column here to be 0, and we have this padding too, which is similar to this and this. So we have our padding on the y-axis to be 10. Now we are using both row span and column span, and I've explained column span right from here. So now we want this to take like on the row, like on the yes, the row wants it to take like row of 10 spaces. So it's taken from 1 to 11 now. 1 to row 11. While the column span is taken from 0 to column 7. So it's going to be like this now. So now we can just like have this, and let's run this and see how it is now. We can view our this thing. You can see we have this now ready. So we have this now ready. So let's get our image ready and continue with this. Sorry, let's get our buttons ready. So now we have this button frame now. So once we have this button frame now, okay, we have this previous button frame here, and we have this text set to previous. We have the padding to be 10, and it's on button frame which we've created initially from here. So now go here. Now we have our next button frame now, and we can see this is actually still the same thing here, but now you can see that I'm putting this space here. Actually, I'm putting this space to make this and this actually look like the same width. That's why I'm doing this. So just to make them the same width, as I'm doing that. So let me see if I can run this so you see what I'm talking about. So we have that now. So you can see it now. You can see, so with the space here is putting this next at the middle, and it's making this too close to each other in width, if not the same. So we have this now. So let's just continue this way. And okay, so the next thing we want to have now is our explorer button, and this is where we say choose location. So this is the button that helps us to choose our location, as we can see from here. Okay, this is the button now that helps us to choose our location. So help us to choose our location in the file directory. So we're going to continue what we are doing now. Okay, so now we want to start with our functions. So these are the functions that is going to like take care of how we are choosing the folder, selecting the folder, how we are setting the list, the images, and how we are going to the next image and the previous image. So the first thing that we have is like this function is, I call it explore file. So it's actually for picking the image folder, and we have a global variable which is the file location, which I'm sure you remember that we set to an empty string right from the beginning. And now we are setting this file location to file dialog.ax directory. So this is actually the file dialog we imported right from here. So we are asking for a directory now. So initial set the initial directory set this now, and title select a folder. So now we are doing this now, and you can see now we are okay. So now we want to import that directory now. We want to enter the location of that directory into the entry file. So that's what we want to do exactly. We want to like yes, you can see it now. Explorer.this.delete. We are actually, why this delete is there is actually that in case there's anything, that means if I've opened a directory before and I'm trying to open another one, so it won't just append the location to each other. I want to make sure that the entry is actually empty right from start. Then is that freshly adding, inserting, this is the index now at index 0, is now inserting the location of the file directory to that entry. And this function here, which is set image list, is actually the image that help us to like set our list here. The function that help us to set our list here, and you can see it extract all the images in the folder, which is the folder we selected here. Then it resize those images and save them in a list. So now the first thing I do here was just declare my variables, right? I have my globe. This is the image here, like the image list. Okay, this is it here. Then we have this location, the image no, image label, and these are the validated, like the valid images. So I want images with this extraction now. I want to be able to distract, like to extract them and save them into my list. So now we have this code now, and this is actually okay. We have for file in os.list directory file location. So we are going through all the files in this location now. Like we are going through all the files in this file location which we've extracted from here, like which we've stored as folder selected here. So we are going through all the files in that location. Then now just this x.os.part.splittext file 1. So now we are checking the first of the file now. We are checking the text now, because okay, it's going to be something like image1.png. So now we are checking that png name. We are checking that .png now. So now we want to convert it now to lower image. Then if that extension is in these valid images, we want to continue our code. We want to progress to the next one. So that's just it now. Let me just go over this expression again. So now we are splitting the text, and now just like okay, when we have this now as the name of our image, where this part is representing an extension, it's going to split this text into two. That's OS and parts. So when it splits this text into two now, the text 0 will be this OS and the text 1 will be this part, which is the extension, right? So now you take this part now and share and convert it to a lowercase and check if it is present in this list. So if it is present, we continue. And what do we do now? To continue now, we just have a variable set to image, and we open this image using this this function we imported from Pillow right from the beginning all over here. You can see it here. This. So we do that. We open that image now, and like now we have the file name now, because we have the file now. So but we want to like join this file name because we only know the name, we don't know the exact location, but we know that the file is present in the location we selected here, right? So we want to join this location and this file name together to form the full address to the file. So this is why we have os.path.join, the file location and the file name. So it's going to have the location name now slash image1.png or image1.gif. So the next thing we're going to do now, we want to resize this image, because actually some image will be way bigger than our frame and some will be like way smaller than expected. So what we want to do now is we want to make sure that no matter how we're resizing the image, the ratio of the height and width will always remain the same, so that it won't look as if we are stretching it or it's looking ugly. So first thing, I will have to get the default size of the image. So that's why I have W for width and H for height here. So image of size, and we are getting the current size of the image now, width and height of the image. So we have our new height now. We want to set our new height now to something of constant, like 400. Setting the constant height now, new height. We have it as 400. So now new width now, I want it to be an integer, and I want to divide the new height by the default height of the image. Then I'm multiplying it by the default width to give me a new suitable width that will go with this size 400. So now I'm just calculating the new width that will make the image maintain its ratio. So we have it like that. So now I have the image now equals to image.resize. I'm now resizing the image now as new width and new height. So now after I've resized the resized image, now I will now append it to my list. So image.append image tk.photo image. So now I'm appending this image now to my list, and this is the list that is initially empty here. So after doing that, now I want to check the length of the image. So I'll check the length of the image of the list now. So after I've appended all the image found in that directory to the list, I want to check the length. So now if the length of the image is greater than 1, what do I want to do? I want to like, okay, image was configure image equals to image null. That means if the length is greater than 1, that means if its length is like not, if the image is not empty, that there is image in this place. So if the image is greater than or equal to 1, I want to set by default the image label. Now I want to set it to the list and the first image here. That's the image no, right, which should be 0 by default here. So I want to open that image by default, and I want to set the label now, which is the label we created here. I think that should be up here, the no label here. So I want to set the text now in this label now, and I'm using a formatted string here, which is the image no, which is 0 by default plus 1, because you know in Python and programming we start our numbering from 0 initially. Okay, so now I want to add it to 1, so it will be like understandable to human. You cannot be having 0 out of 48 images. So for length of the images now, so I'm going to have this, and else now if there is no image, if the image is not greater than 1 or less than, is not equal to or greater than 1, we want to show this message box. I want to show it as, okay, we have no image here. This is the title of the error of the message box, and this is it now. No image in this directory. Choose another directory to view images. So we're going to have it this way. So now if we should like try this, and let's just run our code now. We add our function to this explore button, and we could just run our code now. Let's see. You can see now I could have a dialog box here now, and I have this choose my folder here. And if I should go back to this function of selecting images, we asked for the directory, right? Select the folder was the title, and if you should go back here now, you see that select a folder is the title now, right? That's where the selected folder is coming from. So now I could just go to pictures, and I could just say like, okay, all pins now. I'm now selecting this folder. So that's how it is now. So you can see now I have this picture here now, and I have the location of the directory here now. So if this is the location of the directory now, you will see that, okay, right here now, I'm coming right here now. Why I have this now, or as part of the join file name, and this function now has actually open that current location, go through all the images there, add them to this list, and now we are setting the image itself now, so that we can be able to reference it from our program here, from anywhere it is. We are adding it, the image name at the back of this with just a slash, yeah, and that's why I'm doing it. It just be slash like image1.png. That will be the like name of this image itself now. So that's how it is now. And talking about why I added this end here the previous time. So if I should like choose another folder here now, and just like go on pictures, and let's say I just choose pins, so, and I could just select this folder now. You can see now, instead of, normally if I didn't add this end now, it's going to just append this after the previous location. But because of that, it's not doing that now. So it's not doing that. So okay, now we have no of, and now we have this our message error working well. And going back to this here, we can see, yes, we can see now no of image. This is the title of the error box. Now we can see it, no of image, and we can see no image in this directory. Choose another folder, choose another directory to view images. We can see that is what is here right now. Choose another directory to view images. So we can see that worked well now. So let's continue with the program now, and let's, okay, the next thing I want to have is moving to the next images. We'll be able to have our image displayed on the screen. But now, if we should like try and let me just quickly run this again. If you try and select, if you try and like try to next this image now, you see that it's not working, it's not moving, and we see our 48 images left to view. So now this is how we have this next image now. So now we have our global variable first set to no, image no, then this global images, that's a list, and now we have no of images. Now we are setting it to initially the length of the image. So now we have image no. As far image no is less than no of images minus 1, because as I said earlier, the image no is starting from 0. So now, and the length of images start counting from 1. So to balance this, you have to minus 1 from this initially. So as far as it is like that, and whenever this function is called, we want to increase the number of image by 1. I want to configure this image to the next image, right? So we configure it to the next image on the list. That's the second image. If you increase it from 0 now to 1, so the next image will now be, I am like the second on the axis. If it's now after that, it will be the third. That's image 2 to be the third now. So after that, we want to configure the label too. That's the label displaying it up there. I want to configure the label too. So I'll just set our text. Now you can see that image no plus 1 over no of image. So it's going to be like this now, the text too. So we are also going to have the previous button, moving to the previous image now. And here now we are just reversing what we have here. And if image is greater than 0, image no is greater than 0, we should be able to go back. But once it is 0, there's no image at the back again. So we can just say image no minus equal 1, and we can configure both the label to image no plus 1 over length of image. That's length of images in the list. Then now we can have this image label dot configure, then okay, image no, right? So if I should add this command now and just see, let's add it to this button now. If we should run this now, be able to see now we have a full functioning image pins. So we just select folder here, and now we have this. We could like go and we could go back now. So this is how it actually works to view your image now, as you can see. So you can see you can just continue going, looking at the images, and regardless of the size, it's going to like make it short, it is balanced. So now I can see, now I have to continue, I have to start going back. So you can see that now. So okay, there is one thing I would like to fix here, and that's okay. If you see this, okay, let me open this. It's actually empty here, but it's still showing the text for the previous image. So I'd like to fix that. Okay, but before that, now, okay, where am I going to fix that now? Let's search for that. So that's every time we explore the image, right? So initially we can just say that we want to have no image, no label dot configure. I want to set the text now to an empty string. Okay, we could just have it like this initially now. So let's run this and let's see how it goes. So now if I should go back now and choose that pictures here, okay, I'm choose pin now. So you can see we have nothing. Okay, so let me see if I should choose or pin at first, and okay, I have this now, and now I'm going back to choose just pin where I know that there's no image, and just select this folder. You can see there's nothing here, it is empty by default. So I think that solves the problem. So this is how you create your image viewer with Python TKinter and your external framework Ttkbootstrap. So thank you very much for coming this far with us. If you want to see more like these videos, explain more things with Python and build more cool projects, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you like this video so much, all. If you like it a bit, consider liking this video. Please don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel called Try to see more like this. There are a lot of more cool things that will be coming on. So to see more like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and turn on your notification bell so that you can receive notification whenever I post another cool video on Python and some GUI and any other thing. So thank you very much for coming this far with us. See you next time.